Yes, we've got a proper player today. It's Clint Hill. How are you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm very well, chaps, very well. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure, mate. Thanks for coming on. I need to say, you are looking to me. It's the best I've seen you at the band, mate. A bit of stubble.
It's amazing what retirement does for you, lad, isn't it?
Richard Gere, young man.
Oh, telling you what, I never knew I had this hairstyle in me, lads. This lockdown has done wonders for me.
Alright, tell everyone, what is it you're hiding?
Oh, the monkey's arse on top of my head.
Alright, how's lockdown? Sorry, what you saying?
It's not a good look, mate, from up above in the stands when you look at that.
Alright, I'm usually in the fucking stand, so it'll be me that would see it. How's lockdown been, mate? Alright, what's happening? Are you 2 foot in the missus and kids?
Oh, lad, I'm the worst school teacher ever. I haven't got the patience, lads. You've saved me an hour from it today, to be honest with you, so thanks for that. But my garden's looking brilliant. I've got a decent tan, but I'm missing footy.
What about the boys? Do you get to speak to the boys?
Yeah, there's a group chat there, lads. So, and they're all cracking on doing their individual programmes and stuff like that. So, it's just a weird time, isn't it? There's not much else you can do. You just got to keep ticking over, keep the mentality right as well.
Do you enjoy batting playing Football Manager?
I'll be getting sacked from that.
Oh, you must have been devastated though, because you were flying, eh? 2 points off the automatics.
Oh, the lads were brilliant. You know, I mean, to be fair, from the first moment we've come in, they've been different class. They give you everything they've got. The first season we were there, we kind of struggled with the consistency, you know, to reach those top 6 spots.
Yeah.
But the lads were brilliant. This year, they've gone on to another level. And like you said, they're on a great run of form. We went away to Ipswich, away to Sunderland, away to Wickham, away to Portsmouth. We've just come through a tricky spell of games, and the lads were flying. So we're in a great spot, and then this has happened. But hopefully we'll get back up and running soon and continue that run.
Do you enjoy joining training?
Not much, mate. Not much. We do the little head tennis comps.
Right.
The English v Scottish. We've got Baz Nicholson and Stephen Craney on our squad as well. So it's
good lad, Stephen Craney.
That's one angry man in, by the way.
He can look at people.
Man. Don't know him a fiver, by the way, because he will be after you.
Is he a tight bastard, is he?
Oh, he's Scottish, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say to you, see if you do join in, can you do me a favour and boot Paddy Madden, please?
Oh, mate. Go on, what's he done to you?
Nah, he's a great lad, to be fair. I was on trial at Yeovil when Paddy was there. He's a top man, isn't he?
Hey, he looked different then as well, didn't he? He had a full head of hair, didn't he?
Has he lost it, has he?
Oh, I don't know where it's gone. Must be our coaching.
Oh, he's flying to, isn't he?
Oh, what a goal scorer he is, by the way. Just he gets all sorts of goals, doesn't he? And
yeah.
To be fair, he's brilliant. You know, he leads from the front. He gets about 12k a game.
He works his boys.
Work rate's just infectious, and it just spreads through the team. So yeah, he's a great catalyst for us up front.
Right, let's not give him any more praise because it will go to that big fat head. Joey Barton, how has he impressed you as a manager? I seen the wee clips of the documentaries and some of the speeches that he gave. The hairs on my balls were standing on end.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good, lads. He is good, and the best thing about him is he's always learning. You know what I mean? He doesn't stand still. So we car share quite a lot up to Fleetwood. Get in the car at 7 a.m, and he's got something in his head, and it's an hour and a half to the training ground, and he's on it. Right, lads, we've got to do this. Our shape's got to be different off the ball. This is how we can attack better. This is how we can defend better. And it's just like he's just continuously on the front foot, looking to improve, which is brilliant.
Do you never just want to sit in the motor and say, Joey, give us a rest, lad? I want to.
The thing is, I hear it first thing in the morning, and then I've got to hear it again when we have a coaches meeting.
That's tremendous, man. Right, mate, we'll go on to your career. 650 games, man. Now, for a guy who barely done a shite in the game, what's the secret, man? How did you play 650 games in the top flight as well? Top level.
You're asking someone who didn't have much about him as well, lad. I think I was just stubborn. I think I was just very stubborn, and I wanted to prove people wrong, to be honest with you. Never thought I'd get to 650, ever. Never thought I'd make it.
Did you know that, really?
When you were a kid, listen, I was decent in the school teams, playing up front over head kicks, hat tricks here and there, but once you go up another level, it gets harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, not at one point did I think I'd ever make it as a professional. And I think I carried that mentality on to every day. Like every day in my training, and I had to prove myself. There's doubters, you have to prove yourself again. I think that's what got me to 39 in the end.
Wow. Because you were born in Houghton, and I spoke to a few boys from Liverpool, and they said that's a whole lad. So was it a rough upbringing?
I got out of there quickly, though, Si. I got out of there quickly, mate. As soon as I touched the steel of the bed, I was out. I went to South Africa for 8 years as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, so I lived in South Africa for 8 years. So as soon as I was born, I was on a plane out to South Africa in Durban. Lived there for 8 years. Hell of a lifestyle, from what I can remember.
And were you playing football like that?
Just bits and bobs, you know what I mean? Just a young kid, and you're just finding your feet there. But it was a great lifestyle. I was down the beach every day, and I was on my bike playing football, rugby. It was a great lifestyle. I only come back here when I think I was 8 years old. I came back.
Why did you come back? Just family reasons, like?
Yeah, family reasons. And I think my dad's work over there kind of coming to an end, so we needed to get back home to see my mum's family. And yeah, we settled back over here. And
then Tranmere picked you up?
Tranmere picked me up. What
a club. I used to love playing at Tranmere, mate.
Hey, what a ground.
Amazing. Proper old school football ground. The big stand behind the goal. Loved it.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. And we used to have Friday night footy there as well, which was fantastic. You get a big full crowd at Prenton Park, play Friday night, hopefully get a win, and then you'd have the weekend off so you can go have a good beer as well. It's just a perfect scenario.
I mean, what kind of coaching was it like then at the lower levels at that time? Was advice to you head it and kick it? Oh, they didn't want you to play it through the back, did they?
Yeah, do the bit. I mean, we had a YTS. So I started as a YTS, which was, when you look back, is one of the best times of your life. You had 2 years with a group of lads who you still talk to now. We've got a WhatsApp group now with 26 of the YTs.
No way.
And we just kicked it off now over the last few weeks, and all the lads are chirping in. And some of the stories, man, and some of the things you used to get up to were brilliant. It was a harsh school, though. It was a tough school.
Hey, what, the first team players tough on you, like?
Oh, yeah, but we were first year, so the lads above you, the second years, were tough as well. So they drag you into the changing room and say, "Oi, time for you to dance." I'm going, "Oh," say, "Dance now," or you're getting filled in, and you want you to do it naked, and you're like, "What?" I'm only 16. What's happening here?
That was a big fear. See, when you were 16, mate, see, getting your banger out in front of the oldest group, that was my biggest fear ever, man.
Well, when you were at PE in school, you used to hide in the corner. So all of a sudden now, you're getting your chopper out in front of 16 lads, or you're going to get filled in. We had a great school, man. We had a great school. Some tough boys. We had a lad called Paul Tynan, big Scouse boy, striker. And a few of the first team boys used to come in and try and take the piss out the young lads. And he was having none of it. So these two come in and he goes, "Nah, not today, lads." Big Paul grabs one of the first team players and launches him through the plasterboard walls, straight through into the hallway. And he goes, "Not today, boys. You stay away from us, lads, today."
What a hero, man. Mate, he must have been a hero with the YTS boys.
He's a legend, mate. He's a legend. Absolute legend. But no first team has touched him ever.
Were you the same though, Clint? Because you made your debut at 18, so you must have impressed training with the first team. And was that due to like your aggressiveness and going through people in training?
Yeah. So it came along. It came across quite strangely, lads. I mean, I think there's a few injuries. We've gone to Nottingham Forest. We're on the coach, and John Aldridge pulls me over and goes, "Son, you're playing tomorrow." And I've just gone white. I've gone, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, you're playing tomorrow against Pierre Van Hooijdonk and Kevin Campbell."
Wow.
And I'm like 18 years old. I've gone, right, sound. I'm buzzing. And then we get to the hotel, and he goes, "Lads, in the bar at 6 o'clock. So I thought we're having a meeting. He goes, "Right, you can have a few pints." So we're all there Friday night having a couple of pints. This is before my debut. Just so lads, get a couple of pints down here just to chill your nerves out a bit. So we're there Friday night having a few beers, and I was like, "Wow, is this how it really is?"
Wow. So you did you get a couple of pints?
Yeah, we had a couple of pints, all the lads. He said, "Lads, get a couple of pints in you just to relax you. Big game tomorrow, so you get a good night's kip." Having a couple of pints, went out and we got a 2-2 draw against a Nottingham Forest team. That was unbelievable.
And did you do well? Did you play well?
I can't remember.
It was over.
I just, playing against Big Pierre and Kevin Campbell, like, and you're just in the moment, and you come away with a 2-2 draw, and you're buzzing, aren't you? That's you up and running, professional football.
And was John Aldridge a hero,
He was good, mate. He was good for me because as my career went on at Tranmere, I was in all sorts of trouble, mate. I got sent off regularly. I was a pain in the arse. And I don't think, if he wasn't the manager, I don't think I'd be playing football. Because he was patient with me. He was patient, very, very patient with me. I think he's seen a little bit of him in me with the temperament, because he had a temper on him as well. And he pulled me to one side and said, listen, I think you need to go see a psychologist, because the things you're doing at the minute are pretty wrong. Like, so I had to go see this psychologist. And he had me sat there in the chair and he was trying to visualise to me, what do you see when you go into a tackle? I'm like, mate, I just want to win the fucking ball and come out in one piece. That's all I want to do. But he was a big influence on me, because he stuck by me when things got tough for me.
Was it old school, like you said? Was it play the game and then all the teams straight out for a beer after it?
Yeah. So when you think it'll be a Saturday, you might even go out on a Sunday, and then there was definitely a Tuesday club, because there used to be a few spots in Birkenhead called Rupert's, and it was 50p a drink.
Wow.
50p a drink. So you can imagine how lively it got in there. So Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, that was the norm. And then obviously later in my career, I've had the full reversal, where it's all gone all professional. You can't smile, you can't laugh, you can't have a pint, and it's like, the game's gone.
What one did you prefer?
Oh, the first one.
I just caught the end of that kind of culture, man. Swindon, but it was brilliant days, wasn't it? Brilliant days.
Oh, mate, it was just brilliant. It was a really good time. You played football, you played hard, you had a few beers, and you had a good crack. It was great.
Amazing. Big moment for you, mate. You played in the League Cup Final via Leicester, 2000. That must have been amazing to play at the old Wembley.
Lad, one of the worst days of my life, just because of what happened. It's one of the darkest memories I've got in footy. It was horrible.
That obviously shows that psychiatrist was fucking hopeless.
Oh, he was terrible. I want my money back.
What happened then? Talk us through the sending off.
Lad, to be fair, we played Leicester, decent team, got some good players. Wembley, every kid's dream. Fully pumped up. I'm fully pumped up. Didn't take me much, but I got pumped up too much. The occasion was too much for me. Went into one tackle, I think, on Muzzy, is it? Early in the game, and to be honest with you, I should have gone for that, because it was a decent tackle, but beyond the rules of the game. You know what I mean? I'll get away with that, get a yellow card, and then I've never watched the game backside. I've never watched it back. There's too many bad memories. So I think the referee goes off. A sub referee comes on, because I don't know what, he got cramp or whatever. So a new referee's in the game, and I didn't know this. And then Heskey gets the ball and kind of goes through and falls, tumbles over. So the new ref goes, bang, yellow card, red card, you're off. And I'm going, wow, this is one of the worst moments of my life, this. In reality, I should have let Heskey go through.
Because you would have missed?
Maybe. Maybe. But, and then from then on, mate, it's a long walk off that old Wembley pitch, down to the tunnels, sat in there on your own, never got the chance to walk up the steps to collect a medal. It was the loneliest place I've ever been in my life. It was horrible, mate.
Did that change a wee bit then, that incident? Nah.
I still had the red mist every now and then, but it definitely affected me. I was going to quit. I was that close. I've had enough. Because I went through a period of going down to the FA, explaining myself for getting 15 yellow cards and red cards. That happened on a number of occasions. Letting people down was the biggest problem for me. I mean, all your family go to Wembley. 80,000 people, you let them down, haven't you, really, by getting sent off? And it happened too many times, and it just got, I said, I can't be arsed with this. So I can't control myself. I need to sort myself out here. And I was that close.
So what changed it then? What kept you going?
My family, and like I said, Odo as well. Odo was very good for me. He kept believing in me, kept me involved. And kept playing me, and to be fair, that got me through it. But it was a dark time.
Did he slaughter you after the Wembley final? He must have caged you after that. No, he never.
No. He's seen how devastated I was. Mm-hmm. I just wanted the world to go like that and swallow me up. So what can you say to a kid?
Yeah.
After a Wembley final, that's going to make him feel any worse. You know what I mean?
You know what? I spoke to a few people about you, and they've said that you're the nicest hard man of all time. Like, you'll boot fuck at somebody and then pick them up, and you'll be there straight after.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, off the pitch, I'm sound. it takes a lot to rile me up. Get over that white line. I don't know. I just want to kill people, or I don't want to lose. Keep mental.
Oh, amazing. Right, mate, you had a season at Oldham and then you get a move to Stoke with wee Tony. Pulis, what type of character is he? Before we start, can I ask, back then, was he still wearing the hat and was his trousers still pulled up to his nipples?
Oh, that cap's super glued on. It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. So I get a phone call. Obviously, go down to meet Tony, get in his car, and he's taking me around the ground. The ground's lovely, isn't it? Lovely stadium. Takes me down to the training ground. He goes, Clint, it's brilliant here. There's about 200 or 300 people every day watching training. It's fantastic. Never seen one person in 4 years when I was there. This is his spiel, so he gets you to sign. And then round the stadium, it was brilliant. I was going to sign anyway. It's a fantastic football club. Tony, he's a controller. He needs to control everything. So training, everything you do on the pitch needs to be controlled. Even pre-season, he'd take pre-season. So the coaches that were there got very much nothing to do. They do the odd warm-up.
Dream job.
Oh, I know, the odd warm-up, he'll do a passing drill or something, but he'd take everything.
Wow.
Very controlling. Shape every day. Every day. Back four, midfield two. You don't move out the slot. We used to call it the cage. He said, you don't come out of that cage, lads. You stay in there and protect.
Did you like that? You're a centre-half. Did you like it?
I loved it. Listen, I wasn't a great footballer, but I could head it. I could kick. And I can talk. So I was made up. Yeah. He was just asking me to do things that I could do really well. So I loved it. But for the other lads who had a bit of flair and a bit of finesse, it was a hard time for him.
Because we spoke to Charlie Adams on the podcast and he did say that literally all he wants you to do is kick the ball up to a centre forward.
Oh yeah, that's it. We had big. We had Gifton Noel Williams, big lad.
Good tough.
Adi Akinbayi, another one.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We had a tough school. So it was get the ball to them as quickly as possible. So there was no football. The two lads in midfield were just like that. Just going over the Reds, bless him. You know what I mean?
Oh, see on Adi Akinbayi, I had a coach at Swindon called Peter Shitlift and he was at Leicester with Akinbayi and he used to call him a session wrecker.
He didn't have the best of touches, lads, did he? He didn't have the best of touches. He reminds me of Jamie Mackey. Jamie Mackey was the same. He just used to get the ball and run through people.
He was like that, Jamie Mackey, wasn't he?
Shit, Luis Suarez, Jamie Mackey, I called him.
See, when playing that style of football, like, did you ever think we can get promoted playing like this?
It was tough. There's some good teams in there, and the club didn't have the investment it did towards the end of my time there. So it just survived relegation when I arrived. So mid-table was looked at as acceptable. You know what I mean? And Tony wasn't, or he didn't have the funds to get the players in he needed to maybe make that jump. So he just consoled the team that he had, made it hard to beat, made it aggressive, a typical Tony Pulis team, and just survive mode. And I think it took him 3 years to get the team up, I think, in the end. Yeah.
Is he, obviously you hear this stuff about boxing, James Beattie and the Buff and that. Did that sort of mad stuff go on?
I didn't see that, you know. I never seen that with him. Like I said, we had a tough group. Backing buys and Gifton Owen. You're not really going to stand up to them if you're a manager, like, are you? They box your head in. But he used to have little traits that would the lads would just buzz off. So if he ever came up to you, give you the arm around the shoulder and went, "How's the family, son?" You knew you weren't playing. You knew. So whenever he started walking up to you, you were going, "Oh, fucking hell, here we go." The arm had come round. "How's the family, son? Everyone okay?" And you knew you weren't playing on Saturday.
Brilliant, man. I love it. What else did he do? What other traits?
To be fair, he had that, and he always said, if you listen to his interviews or his chats, he always goes, "We need 3 or 4 more. We just need 3 or 4 more, and we'll be all right." You know what I mean? We need 3 or 4 more to kick on to the next level. He always had these little traits that he'd do. You know what I mean? But that was the best one with the arm around the shoulder. All the lads would see it coming, and they'd be like, "Oh, don't touch me! Don't touch me!"
Brilliant. What about madmen? Any madmen in that Stoke team, or was it?
Over the years, we did Big Jerry Taggart.
Oh, what a hero. He's a hard man, isn't he? He's a hard man.
Seriously, learned so much off him, you know. He came towards the later stage of his career. Couldn't run. He had no pace about him, but what a player. Just read the game, used his body. You know those the dark arts, we call them. The little body checks against strikers and how he'd stop you and how he'd use his body to stop strikers getting into positions. I learned all that off him. He was fantastic, man. Fantastic. But he was a fucking ruthless animal.
Yeah.
He was an animal.
Would he slaughter boys, Clint?
Oh, he would do, yeah. He would do. But I think we played, I think Millwall. Dennis Wise was at Millwall and he was winding him up all game. So it all goes off. They go into a tackle in the middle of the pitch and Big Tags gets on top of him. Arm goes right round his throat, Dennis Wise, and he goes purple. I mean, if he held on to him for another 5 seconds, he would have probably been dead. All the lads are trying to get tags off him. Like, I've never seen anyone go that purple, just lose the shit on him.
Uh-huh.
And then we played QPR. Mark Bircham, another wind-up merchant, wasn't he, Birchie?
Yeah.
So he gets tagged, sent off. I think he fakes the tackle, goes down, red card. When you play at Stoke, you come up the tunnel, and on the left-hand side, there's a little laundry room. Tags has gone in there, and he's waiting for Bircham in the tunnel. So they all come off, up the tunnel. Big Tags comes out of the room, grabs Bircham straight into our changing room. Just grabs him straight into the changing room. I've never heard screaming like, I'm sorry, Tags. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And all the other lads are trying to get in the changing room. All the QPR boys, it was just going.
Oh, amazing, man.
The top boy, though.
See that, what Taggart had, getting on, boys. Did you have that from a young age, or did you get it from playing with Jerry Taggart?
I think you're born with that.
Yeah.
I think you're born with it. I don't think you can coach talking or communication. It's very hard. I think you've either got it and you're comfortable with it, or you haven't. That's one of the biggest problems I see in the modern game is that talking, that communication, that driving the standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of insular, and phones don't help, do they? Because everyone just talks on phones now or texts on phones. I think that's just modern society at the minute.
But even like the art of defending's gone now for me. Like, very rarely now do you see a big aggressive centre half. They all want to be players now, don't they? Does that frustrate you a bit?
Oh, because I wish I could have been one of them. Like, to be honest, but listen, I'm still very much love the old school. Me, I do love it. That's because I was brought up with it. But we got Big Suter at our place, Big Harry Suter. Who's a fan? He's at Ross County, I think.
He's at Ross County, that's right, mate. A good player, eh?
He's got everything in him. He's getting aggressive. He's getting more. He's filling out more. He's getting more aggressive with his voice, his heading, but he can play as well. You know what I mean?
He was as well. He was a kid at Stoke, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, he's still there now. He's still there now.
On loan, right? Okay.
Yeah. So we've had him on loan for 2 years, and he's developed on and on and on, and he's got a great chance in. So he can mix it. He can go hard, or he can play footy, which is great. Talking
old school, as you said, you go on to another big character, an old school character, Neil Warnock. I love Neil Warnock, man. He's so infectious, isn't he? Is he like that about the place every day?
Yeah, every day. So I was at Stoke 4 years, injury nightmare, cruciates, ankles, played 80 games in 4 years. So you know when you get a feeling about a place, you think, I need to get out. I need a fresh challenge because I'm just getting injured all the time here. So he rings me up, Neil, and he goes, son, how would you like to come and play for me? I've gone, Neil, lovely to speak to you. How are you? He goes, come and play for me, son. You'll have a big smile on your face. You'll play the game. You'll enjoy it. I said, Neil, I've just had a baby girl up north. I don't think I can get to London. He said, come and have a chat. So I get down there. Ended up signing for 2.5, 3 years, mate. And he was brilliant for me. Saved me. Give me the enjoyment back. A smile on my face. It was just a fantastic couple of years with him.
Yeah. See, when you said that 80 games in 4 years, I'm 80 games in 12 years, mate, so you're all right. See, on Warnock, has he got good banter? Like, is he a funny guy?
He is in his own way. So, like a few times, if it's raining on the training ground, he'll come in late. He'll have the umbrella up, and he'd just stand on the sideline, and then he'd just go, come here, son, you've done enough. Come and stand under the umbrella with me. Arm round you. And he'd just have the umbrella, and you'd be under his umbrella, and he'd be like, you feel special, you know what I mean? But he'd even like, where did I go? I think I went on loan to Nottingham Forest, came back, got called back. We played Chelsea at home. I just played Middlesbrough against Middlesbrough on the Tuesday for Forest. Got called back. Had to play Chelsea at home against their team, which was fantastic. I'm playing against Daniel Sturridge. I'm left back.
Wow.
So it was a tough day. We managed to win 1-0, but the ball's gone out for a throw-in. Neil's got the ball. And this is little things that just release the tension and the pressure. He's got the ball and he's gone, hey, son, who would have thought me and you would be in the Premier League playing against Chelsea 1-0 up? And then he just gives me the ball. And I'm like, but it just releases the pressure. And you're like, fucking, what a guy.
I love that shit, man. That's amazing.
Just little things like that. Little things. Brilliant, man.
See, on the other end, though, Clint, could he crack it here? Because I remember the videos of him at Sheffield United and he's giving Morgan at big guys. Like, did he not care who you were? He would go through it.
No, you'd get it. Paddy Kenny was exempt from most things, though. Paddy Kenny was his boy. You know what I mean? His blue-eyed boy. He asked him everything. So we'd probably, that championship season, we'd go on an unbelievable winning streak. And he'd go, Pad, do you think the lads deserve Monday off? And Pad would go, yeah, Gaffer, I think we deserve Monday off. And all the lads go, yeah, we're on Paddy, lad. So Paddy Kenny was his blue-eyed boy. But he would lose his Barnet, yeah. Very much in the way that you've seen. You'd come in from the game, you'd sit down, you go, lads, what the fucking hell was that? A piece of kit would come off. He goes, what about the goal? The goal? What were you doing with the goal, Clint? What were you doing? Tell me. Another piece of kit would come off. And then he'd walk into the shower. Then he'd come back out and goes, midfield, tell me what you're doing with them passes. Take another bit until he's bolloco in front of you and he's giving you everything. And then the towel would go over the shoulder. They go, hey, nothing we can do about it now, lads. Get in the shower. Monday. It's like, this is brilliant, mate. But he just was so experienced, man, in the championship. He got so many clubs promoted. He knew how to build a team in that championship. And he was brilliant to work with. He was. His pre-seasons were fantastic, lads.
Fantastic. What were the pre-seasons like?
So he'd take you to Cornwall, where he lived. So he'd be at home in his house, chilling. You know what I mean? King of Cornwall. We'd be in a little chalet on a golf course. And we'd play against his local teams. So like the Red Bull or something at the pub. So we'd be playing these teams just to create a bit of frigging money for the local village. And he'd be walking around with this piece of paper. He goes, lads, come in. So we're thinking, right, first pre-season game. He's going to read us the riot act, lads. We need to be on it. Kick us through to the beginning of the season. He's got his pen and paper and he goes, Paddy, what would you like to drink, son? So he's going through the lads, going through the team, and we're going, you know, what's happening here? He's going, yeah, okay, what, have a pint? Yeah, no problem, pint. He goes, right, lads, get through this game, and then we're going to go to the pub down the road. We've got it's a nice little buffet, nice barbecue, we can have a few pints. And that was the first team talk of like the pre-season. He's taking a bevy order for the lads.
Mate, that's the type of manager I needed, man. How good is that? Did you love playing under him? Was there ever a time that you wanted a wee bit more? Like, was he a coach now? No. He was a manager. Just, he'd be out there every now and then. Listen, I think Joey didn't like him, obviously, because when you get up to that Premier League level, you need a bit more, don't you? It needs to be more professional. The training needs to be better. Everything needs to be better. And a few lads struggled with that. But the lads who had been with him for a few years just knew what he was like, accepted it, and we just worked hard as we could. Sorry. Go on, mate. See, then at Palace, like, you were obviously at Palace when Zaha and Victor Moses were young boys. How good were they as kids? Oh, brilliant. We had, so just trying to think, we had Nathaniel Klein playing right back. We had Victor Moses, Zaha, just an unbelievable production line of talent. And he brought them through. Remember John Bostock as well? Bostock. Yeah, I played with Bostock at Swindon. What a player. Yeah. So he made his debut at 16, I think, for Palace. But then decided to go on to Tottenham and kick on there instead of playing for Palace. Well, we had some unbelievable talent coming through. But then administration kicked in. So Jordan had a hedge fund and it collapsed and they pulled the money from him. So we're flying up to Newcastle to play Newcastle United on the Tuesday. We fly up, get on the plane, get off the plane, switch your phones on. And it was like the World War III.
Everyone's phone was beeping, ringing. We're going, what the frigging hell's happening here? Lads, messages come through, you've been deducted 10 points. So we've gone from being a playoff contention down into the bottom 3 without like 10 points wiped off your total. And we were like, what the frigging hell's happened here?
What did Warnock do when that happened?
He found it tough because we couldn't play Victor Moses, we couldn't play Kleinies or any of them because they were valuable assets. So we had to try and flip them on and sell them on. And so he found it hard because we had to play your mate Johnny Ertel. You know what I mean? instead of Kleiny.
I don't know what's worse, mate, getting 10 points deduction or playing Johnny Adel.
You're a bad man, Si. You're a bad man. But,
see, just on Simon Jordan, did you have much dealings with him?
He threw some great Christmas parties, like the full shebang down in London. He'd hire out the big hotels and he'd put on like Jimmy Carr would be like doing a set for the comedy. It'd be meal, champagne. He just loved it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Big blonde hair, back, sunglasses on, suit on. He was the man. I always liked him. I always got on well with him. Obviously, he rubs a few people up the wrong way, but he's sound.
Mate, I like him on Talk Sport. I think he speaks well about football, doesn't he?
He's got some good points, and he's not scared to talk his mind. And he's experienced it. He's lost a lot of money in football, so he knows what he's talking about.
Would he be the type of owner that would talk to you about tactics and stuff in your game?
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I think he was in Marbella most of the time, wasn't he?
Oh, I bet he got a few birds, young man, eh?
Oh, him? I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Because he did have the tan, the blonde hair, the lot, didn't he?
That's what you're going for, isn't it? Simon Jordan.
I'm a bit of an off at the minute, like.
Right, mate. See, when Warnock moved to QPR, did you always kind of know that he would ask you to go with him?
So we finish off that season. He goes a couple of months before Neil. He goes to QPR a couple of months before the season finishes. So we get to Sheffield Wednesday. We have to draw or not lose to stay up against Sheffield Wednesday. So it's one of us who goes down against Sheffield Wednesday. So we're at, obviously, Hillsborough, fully packed house. We get a 2-2 draw. We survive. We send Sheffield Wednesday down, and it's madness. There's fans running on the pitch. I'm trying to do my bit. Like, I know a few of the lads. So I'm saying, listen, lads, chins up. You know what I mean? You've done well, unlucky. Bounce back. I make my way over to the away end where all the Palace fans are. Shirt off, bang, boots in. Brilliant, we survived. Turn round. There's a full cordon of police from one touchline to the other, and Sheffield Wednesday fans trying to get at us.
No way.
The steward comes up and goes, Clint, we have to go back through that. I've gone, you what? I said, you've made a bad mistake there, son. We have to go back through that. So I've gone, right, okay. So I'm off. I've got no shirt on, no boots. Walking through, I'm thinking, the police cordon will sort us out. You know what I mean? I'll get a few police around us and they'll escort us up the tunnel. They just go, now I've gone, what? Not even going to walk with me? Nah. They just opened up and shut, and I've had to walk through about 1,000 Sheffield Wednesday fans spitting at me, trying to punch me, kick me. And there's a video of it online, mate. It's brilliant. There's a fella comes up, runs from about 100 yards, takes a big haymaker, misses me. And I've lost my shit, and I've gone, whoa! I've tried to swing back at him, missed. It's just full carnage.
Where's the rest of the boys? The rest of the boys in the dressing room?
Yeah, they've gone into the dressing room. And then remember big Claude Davis?
Yeah.
Centre half.
Yeah, centre half.
Finally, he comes out of the tunnel and sees me. Big Claude, massive, and he stumbles over and starts throwing people out the way and drags me in. And then we just get on the beer and have a good time. But that just mental times, but...
Oh, yeah, that's what you get for being a busy bastard going over to the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Giving it all that. That's what you get. Then, sorry, but I went off target a little bit there. But and then we go to, obviously, Neil gives me a ring in the summer and says, listen, QPR, fancy coming to West London, couple of year deal, just come and be a good lad that you are. I wasn't expecting to play a lot of games because they had a big squad. And just come in and be a good lad and lead the dressing room again. So I said, yes, Sam, no problem. I'll follow you anywhere, Gaffer. Follow you anywhere. And then it just went on from there.
See, does that give you a wee bit less pressure when you're not expected to go in and be the main man straight away?
Yeah, Yeah, just because he knew me. He knew. I never once had a medical with Neil Warnock.
No?
Never once. Nah, just touch your toes, you sound. You'll be all right, son. You'll play 40 games a season. We know what you're about. So he relied on. He got Sean Derry in, obviously, another top lad. Jamie Mackey in that year. Bradley Orr, another lad. So he built a great team of characters, you know what I mean? And then he had that little sprinkling of frigging finesse in Adel Tarabat and Hogan Ephraim's and Hyder Helgeson's, you know what I mean?
Mate, talk to me about Tarat, please, because he should have went to the top, man. I was doing South and he used to ripping that league up, and he was outstanding, man.
How good was he?
Was that every day in training?
Nah. Well, Charlie sold you, innit? About how he lived his life. It's weird, mate. He'd go to bed at like 3:30 in the afternoon, get up at 10 and then spend all night out and come back and train. It's just freaking weird, wasn't he? But like in the bits of training that he did, but he just meg you for fun. You think you've got him, bang, bang, megs, and he's through and he's away. He was a special player. The best thing that happened was Neil Warnock give him the armband. And we're in the dressing room going, has he lost the fucking plot here, giving him the armband? But then he's called the lads into a meeting there and he's gone, listen, do you want to play in the Premier League? We've gone, yeah, definitely, yeah. He goes, well, he's going to get you to the Premier League. So whatever he does and how I manage him, don't get pissed off because I'm doing it for the best of the group. He'll get us to the Premier League. And lo and behold, he played a big part in that. That's
what management's about, mate.
Yeah. So he got the core group. He knew who the leaders were. He knew who the captains were. But he had to make Adel feel the top dog. You know what I mean? The untouchable player, the top dog.
Would he still give Adel a bit if he wasn't doing it? Would Warnock still get on it to that? Or would
he used to get on at us. He'd batter us. So if Adel didn't get the ball for a couple of minutes, he'd start wandering and start coming into our half where the defenders were looking for the ball. So I've made the mistake of giving him a ball once in our own half. And I think he's lost. He's tried to make someone, lost it. They've gone through, had a chance or scored, I don't know. And I've got battered. And he's gone, if he ever fucking comes in your half again and you give him the ball, you're out the team and I'm going to fine you 2 weeks' wages. Never give Adel Tarabat the ball in your own half of the pitch. And that's the way he was, mate. But what did he have? 19 assists, 20 goals or something like that?
Could he have played in a top 4 team?
He should have. Well, he should have done. Listen, he's had a hell of a career. AC Milan. Where did he go? Genoa. Benfica. So he's not had a bad career.
Yeah.
We should be speaking about him as one of the top players in the modern generation. Definitely.
And why even know? Just because he does that, goes out all night and sleeps all day? Is that
he just lived his life wrong? I don't. It's hard because I never had that talent, so I could never understand how he was feeling. Or I was just all out, 100%. That's all I was. So I can't relate to how his mind processed things. But he just found everything easy. So he probably thought, I didn't have to work hard. I didn't have to do the runs. I can just get the ball and do my stuff, which he could do. But eventually he's going to catch up with you.
See, because of that, would you boot him in training?
You can't touch him, lad. He's strong. He's got this big arse. He never lifted a weight. He's got this big arse that he just backs into you. He's strong. You can't get him. Like, he goes one way, but he ends up going the other. He was special, man. He was special. Yeah. You just couldn't see the ball.
Is he the reason that you blitzed the championship that year? Or was it more than just Adel Tarat?
Yeah. Listen, it'd be doing the lads a disservice. You know what I mean? If you could just put it on Adel. Was he the difference in most games? Yeah, because some of the setups, some of the assists and goals he scored were outrageous, but he had a team around him that made him shine. You know what I mean? So we'd do all his running, we'd do all his tackling, we'd cover for him, and then we'd give him the ball to go and do his magic. So, yeah, it'd do a big disservice to the lads who were in that team if they didn't get acknowledgement. Like,
it's the old saying, isn't it? You just carry the piano and he'll play it.
Oh, I carried a few pianos, me, mate. See,
on the promotion party, Charlie Austin, I was speaking to him last night. He says he drew you a new pair of sunglasses.
He owes me a pair of Tom Fords, the cheeky git.
What happened?
But that was a couple of years later, that. So we've gone, I think we've gone to Dubai. this is under Harry, this. We've gone to Dubai, and Harry's gone, no drinking. It's a training do. Training, no drinking. And we're going, sound Harry, no problem. But he wasn't even in our hotel, Harry. He was next door with Sandra in another hotel, the one and only or something.
Right.
So we've gone, bang, pool party. Let's go. Bang. He hasn't got any sunglasses, has he? So I've got a couple of pairs thinking I'm the bollocks. I've gone, Charlie, I've got a pair for you, mate. So yeah, give him a pair of Tom Fords. And they've come back with no lenses. It's just not the frames, lad.
He's a loose cannon, isn't he, Charlie?
What are you doing? Gosh, he still hasn't given me a pair of the Minge bag.
He's another tight bastard, mate. What's Neil Warnock like when you get promoted to the Premiership? What's he like in the dressing room and then the night after it?
Oh, fantastic, lad. So that do. So we finally won it, lifted the trophy. Amit Bhatia is our chairman, who's a top guy, still involved now.
Right.
We go to a club, never seen scenes like it. In this nightclub, it's all dark, music's going off, and then the music stops. And we're going, what's going on here? And then We Are the Champions comes on the speakers. And I swear to God, 100 bottles of Cristal with fireworks comes down the aisle and just plonks right in front of us while this We Are the Champions is going off.
Wow.
And I swear to God, it was like a conveyor belt for about 4 hours. Music stop, We Are the Champions, reload. There was lads like dead on the couch, too much champagne. It was fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
Would Warnock be amongst it, would he be dancing?
No, he wouldn't. No, he wasn't there. No, a few of the other lads were like Keith Curlin and people like that. They loved the bevy, so they were rightly involved.
Is that the best feeling in your career when you know you've been promoted to the Premiership?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. Never won anything like that in my life. You know what I mean? So to get that, because I was fighting. I was always fighting relegations or mid-table. So to get that sense of lifting a trophy, fucking something special there.
See, when you're lifting that, do you think back to the times with Tranmere when you were going to chuck it and sitting with the psychologist and that? Does that play in your head?
No, I'm just like, let's get on it.
And my money's going up 50%. Oh, the money's going up 50% as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I can pay me mortgage off now. Go on, lad.
Tremendous. What about Paddy Kenny, mate? You mentioned him. I was in a bar in Marbella and Paddy Kenny sat at the bar for like 12 years, man. Just sat there. Yeah. What a character. Is he a proper character?
He's a great lad, him. Great lad. Like you said, he can sup. I was stuck at a bar with him at a Christmas party once, and like you said there, we were there for about 8 hours. Went in light, it came out light. You know what I mean? It was just relentless, just swigging bottles for fun. Great lad. He was Warnock's blue-eyed boy, a top keeper. He got 25 clean sheets that season we went up.
Wow. Which
is something special, that.
Especially with the tracky bottoms on. What was the story behind the tracky bottoms, man?
He was crap in training, though.
Was he?
Like, yeah, he used to dive out the way of balls and everything, like, just have a laugh. Like, hey, dive the other way and you're playing a five-side. You go, Paddy, what are you doing? I was like, it's only training, isn't it?
And what, would Warnock laugh at that?
Yeah, he loved him. He loved him, mate.
How come you loved him so much? Just because he was such a good goalie or because of his character?
He's a good goalie and he was a good kid as well. He was a good kid. He had him at Sheffield United as well for a good few years and he had good success with him, didn't he? So he always looked after the boys who looked after him. So if you put in a good shift for Neil Warnock, he'd make sure he'd look after you.
Was Paddy Kenny the best boozer you've met in football? I heard David Conley, I played at Portsmouth, told me that Richard Dunn is the best boozer in football.
Oh, I forgot about Dunny. Yeah, forgot about Dunny. He'd just get a pint of Guinness and just go, because he's so big. Such a big unit, and it doesn't affect him. So like you'd be about 8 hours into a session, he's still going, and you're like, get out, Dunny. Like his facial expressions haven't changed all day. He's just down in pints for fun.
Dave told me when he used to go away with Ireland, Dunn would play on the Saturday, they'd have a game on the Tuesday, and Dunn would have a full day on the bevy on the Sunday, and still go on a Tuesday and be like phenomenal.
He's a good player, Hey, he was a good player, and he was quick as well. Forget how quick he was. Once he got going, he could motor like. But he was a big part of that the second promotion we had when we got through to the playoffs. He was a big part of the team that got us up that year.
So see for you, obviously when you first went to QPR, Neil Warnock has told you that you're not going to play a big part, but then to go on and play the amount of games you did, like, do you get a wee bit of self-satisfaction that you've replaced players as well?
Oh, definitely. You actually I only missed 2 games that season.
Wow. Championship season, mate, that's brilliant.
And my ankle was gone. Like, I used to get injections every 2 or 3 months just to keep me going, because it was like that. So to get through that many games, obviously winning the style we did as well, was a special time for me, mate, and I loved it there. It's a great club. Great club.
And you're saying that Paddy Kenny was his blue-eye boy, but I've heard as well that you were his boy as well. Is that right? Not in Paddy Kenny's spot, lad. No chance. He's number one. But yeah, me and Neil had a good relationship, man. Good relationship. He looked after me. Even when I went to Palace and I had my young buddy, he'd say to me, "Listen, I'll see you Thursday." So I ended up training with Tranmere Rovers like for most of the week, and then going down and playing on a Thursday, Friday, play the game Saturday. He was special, man, for me. What did you think of Charlie Austin, Clint? Good player?
Good player. Good player. That second season we went up, the amount of 1-0s we got, well, just from defending really compactly, and then Charlie go get you a goal from out of nothing. Out of nothing. But he was a warrior as well, you know.
He's a warrior, mate.
You played with him, so like he'd stick his head in everywhere and he'd run his absolute balls off. He wasn't scared of doing that, and he was a hell of a finisher. Hell of a finisher.
Would you and him go up against it and training with each other? Like, would you bash each other a bit?
Yeah, we used to have like a young v old on a Friday, and you'd always, because he's such a good player, you want to give him a bit, don't you? Mm-hmm. So we'd always try and have a little battle. But he was a special player, him, and his goals that he scored that year, sensational, mate. Loved the bevy as well. Good lad off the park. Good lad off the park.
Most importantly, he likes a bevy,
Oh, lad.
Who used to win the young v old games? Young.
It was quite tight.
Was it?
Quite tight. Yeah, it was quite tight. It was spicy. We don't do enough of this now. I keep saying we should do more of it, because it just brings that competition into your training, because no one wants to lose to the young boys or the old boys, do they?
Mate, the young v old on a Friday used to mean more to me than the game. The actual
game. You used to come off fucked, didn't you? You used to come off drenched, like carrying all kinds of scars off you from elbows. Like when I was at Oldham, Biggie and Dowie used to get involved. Oh, mate, he'd poof, elbow you the lot on a Friday.
What, the gaffer? He was the manager?
He was the manager. He'd absolutely batter you. He'd batter you. Freaking elbow you the lot. It was mental. Fridays were one of the best days.
See, Warnock, could Warnock join in? Can Warnock play now? You can't even imagine him kicking a ball, can you?
Piss you, that, or? No chance. No chance.
Was he a player, Warnock?
Yeah, he was. He was. I think he was a little right winger back in the day. He'd be one of them you'd want to smash, wouldn't you? Imagine playing against him.
Definitely, man. Right, up to the Premier League. What about some of the additions you were making? Barton, Ryan Phillips, Dyer, Anton Ferdinand. See, when they came in, was there any doubt in yourself that you could compete with these sort of players, or did you fancy yourself to be able to do it in the Premier League?
Took you a while, to be honest with you. I think we played the first game of the season before they came in, and we got battered 4-0 from Bolton in the Premier League at home. I think I got sent off as well, to shock. And it was a rude awakening, because Bolton, listen, okay team, but they're not one of the top dogs in the Prem. And we got battered by them, so it was a rude awakening. And then obviously them lads have come in after that, and kind of we played decent footy for the next couple of months. I think we done okay. We're in a decent spot. I was out the team then, so I went to Forest on loan for a month after the Christmas, and the lads were playing really, really well at that time. But then unfortunately, I think we got to Christmas. Tony Fernandez has come in. I think he wanted a change, so we had a few dodgy spells. I think we got knocked out of the cup. MK Dons, Neil Warnock left, and then obviously the change happened then.
Yeah, you said that like Joey never really liked Neil Warnock, obviously because his old school methods. Were most of the big names the same? Like, were they not really having him?
I think they were towards the end. So when everything's rosy and you're winning and you're playing well, you get away with stuff, don't you? Yeah. It's when the difficult times come that you find out the proper characters of people. So once the results started turning, then a few of the lads had Tony's ear. You know what I mean? That they were on the phone to him continuously, trying to probably backstab him, to be honest with you, for being honest.
I'd love to see a dressing room where Joey Barton and Neil Warnock going at each other, man.
They just, too fair. They did stay out of each other's way, but Joe's very meticulous. You know what I mean? He wants things done correctly. So I think the chairman brought him in. He wanted the facilities were poor at QPR. We had the changing rooms were just like a chalet. We had no gym. The showers were falling off. They had the old school iron baths. You know what I mean? And this is Premier League level. So Joey coming into that environment, he couldn't handle it. And plus the coaching didn't go up to the required level as well. So all this kind of built up. And I think it affected the other lads as well. The other boys who come in from Premier League kind of resented it. And unfortunately then Neil got the sack at the end of that. See, when Warnock left, did he speak to you personally before he went? Yeah, he did, yeah. He said, I think this is me. I think Tony wants me out. He wants to go in a different direction. I was gutted. Yeah. I was gutted. He flogged me off to Nottingham Forest on loan, but I still had that kind of respect for him, you know what I mean? And he dragged me back and I played for a few games for him. That's probably his downfall, bringing me back to play for his final games. Do you still speak to him now? The odd text here and there, yeah. Spoke to him last season about a player, trying to get a player in on loan, but he done me no favours there, the bastard. I love him on the telly. He was on Soccer, when he got the sack, he was on Soccer Saturday. He was tremendous on it, man. He's just got an infectious personality, hasn't he? Yeah, yes, he's good. He's good on the radio as well, and he's, like you said, he's got that infectious personality. He's not scared to tell the truth, and he's got some good stories, man. He's a top man. What a hero. Right, mate, Mark Hughes comes in. Initial impressions, because Mark Hughes is a legend, man, football-wise, isn't he? He is. Listen, obviously Neil left and we thought, right, Mark Hughes coming in. Like you said there, top player. Played for some massive teams, good managers he's played under. I played against him towards the end of his career at Blackburn and he was a tough bastard. Real tough bastard. It was a good scrap, that. And then obviously he's come in, had a decent career manager-wise, we thought. Just what we need. Disciplinarian. He'll get us going. So the first couple of months on raffle, you know what I mean, and then we've kind of survived, haven't we, that season? But it didn't take long for the cracks to appear, to be honest with you, mate. See how you said that? Did we ever talk about his career, Mark Hughes? No, we didn't. Never. We had a meeting once, and Sean Derry got up, and he said, "You know what? Because we just had enough of him by then. He goes, you know what? I'd love to hear about your fucking career. Why don't you tell us the stories? You know what I mean? Barcelona under Ferguson, the goals you scored in European finals. We'd love to have that human touch with you." Yeah. You know what I mean, and it was just stood there, didn't offer you anything. Because I read in Roy Keane's book as well, after when they were both managers, after they went in the office with Mark Hughes, it was no words at all. It was like silence. Is that kind of what kind of guy he is as a manager? Yeah. It's almost like aloof. It's like an aloofness about him, you know what I mean? I enjoyed the training. Eddie Nziki, who took most of the sessions, was a great coach, a really good coach. But I couldn't warm to Mark Hughes or Mark Bowen. I couldn't warm to them. Was that straight away, Clint, then? Could you see that straight away? Huh? I'd say after about a month or two, yeah, definitely. Because you have that honeymoon period, don't you? You know, and then the cracks started to appear. And towards the end of the season, we only stayed up because the lads had that much resentment against the manager. We were like, hey, we need to fuck him off here because he's shite. We're not going to stay up just by him. We've got to get together and do it ourselves. And that's how we stayed up, just by the pure resentment towards the management. So see, after games and that, Clint, not even fucking brilliant lads or anything like that? It was all one tone. There's nothing worse than one tone coaches, is there? Nah. You know what I mean? So it was just it was all on a level. It was all flat. There was no emotion. There was no hey, we need to do this. There was nothing. And it just got boring in the end. And what you'd have done for a Neil Warnock fucking shoulder? Oh, not a Tony Pulis one though, lad. I need to ask you, big Gabriel Cissé came in January. What kind of guy? Because he seems like he's miles off it, mate. Lad, someone told you to ask me about him? Nah. What's it? Is there stories? Oh, lad, there's a story there. I don't think I've told anyone.
Go on. What a guy. Come on, this is amazing.
It's quite embarrassing, like, but big Jib's come in. Obviously, hell of a career. European champion and all that. But he started just to annoy me. You know, he's a bit of a selfish bastard. He's a striker, isn't he? He's a striker, so he's a bit of a selfish one. And there's a few things. He used to have this array of cars, about 7, 8, 9, 10 cars. He'd leave them all in the car park at the training ground. He'd just use it as his own car park. That's one thing. And there were some decent cars. Then he'd come in. He used to have his own fashion label. He'd come into the change room in a skirt, long boots. No, just like
a skirt,
just a bit eccentric. And then the tipping point was we got beat 6-0, 6-1 away at Chelsea, which is a local derby for QPR. We're 6-0 down. Fernando Torres is playing like he had a Liverpool shirt on for Chelsea. You know what I mean? Not very rarely. Like he scored a hat-trick that day and run the show. Cissé scores a goal to make it 6-1 with 5 minutes to go, and he's running down the touchline like he's won the World Cup, going, yeah, in front of the fans. And I'm going, is this lad for real? Is this lad for fucking real? You know, just little things like that. So we get to the story. So we're playing Blackburn away the Saturday. We're training at Loftus Road on the Friday. Okay, we're on the ground. We're at the main stadium, doing a bit of shape. Bang! I go into the back of Gibraltar. Not a bad tackle. Just leave him on the floor, and he's crying and he's shouting, and I'm going, Jib, lad, you're in England now. You're going to get these every Saturday. So come on, get up. And he's effing and blinding at me. I'm going, listen, get up. You're in England now, son. Crack on. So a bit further on, I get the ball. I'm running down the line. Big Jib takes off and gives me oomph, big side tackle from my hip down and empties me out. And I've lost my Barnet now. I've lost it because all these little things are building up in my head. I've turned round. I'm running at him. I'm thinking, I'm going to batter this lad here. So start
windmilling.
I've gone to headbutt him, yeah. I've gone to headbutt Jibril Cissé. Wow. So I've gone, bang, Liverpool kiss. He's ducked. I've headbutted the top of his head, which is not the best place to headbutt anyone. And my nose has gone, poof. Oh, God. Broken nose, blood, claret everywhere. I've lost it even more. And I'm windmilling. It gets broken up. I get sent in. Into the changing rooms. Mark Hughes comes in and goes, what's happening here? What's wrong with you? I said, I need to leave. I can't work in this environment because I lose my shit too much. There's too many cowboys here. He calms me down. But then the Saturday comes. I lose my place in the team. I get put on the bench. I've got this big frigging broken nose. I've got two black eyes. I've got two black eyes. Jibril Cissé's playing. And I'm like, what's going on here? But Joey, like we still have a group chat every now and then on Zoom. And they say it's officially the worst fight they've ever seen on a football field.
Did he swing back? Did Cissé swing back?
In my head, I'm thinking, I'm bopping him like this. In reality, I'm like this. And they say it's the worst fight they've ever seen on a fussy field.
Oh, tremendous, man. Was he because you were doing the bottom? Was that like a regular occurrence with the stress it was trying to stay in the Premier League plus some of the players that you'd signed? Was it a regular occurrence that things would kick off in training? Yeah, because you had the lads who brought the team up from the champ, who were a real good set of lads and good players as well, who never really got the opportunity to play in the Premier League, and they should have done really. Yeah. And then you had this large influx of lads coming in who, if we're being honest, were just there for the money. You know what I mean? And it just rubbed up wrong because the lads who from the champ had a bit of a bond with the club because they've had a bit of success and they wanted it to do well. New lads coming in, loads of money, not arsed. And it just rubbed up and the friction was too much in the end. But that first year, I will say the first year, we got away with it. We found a common cause, you know what I mean? To stay together against a manager that no one liked, and we managed to stay up. Managed to stay up, mate, in the last game, probably the most historic game in the Premier League history. What's your thoughts going into that game? Like, is your head all over the gaff?
No, I'm calm. It's just the calmest I've ever been. So I'm warming up, And I see an old PE teacher, Man City fan, runs down the stands and is having a chat with me. Just like surreal. I'm having a chat about the old school days while I'm doing the warm-up. And I just felt a real calmness. I don't know why. A real calmness. And then I've only watched the game back the other week. It was on Sky the other week.
Yeah.
It had a full episode of it. I've only watched it back and I'm like, what happened? What happened in that game?
Is that game a blur then for you, huh?
It's madness, lad, wasn't it? We couldn't get out 30 yards from our goal. We had everyone behind the ball 30 yards away from our goal. We couldn't get out of there. They were outstanding. But somehow we managed to be 2-1 up.
Because Cissé, your mate Cissé equalises, didn't he?
He scored a few goals for us, a few important gours.
See, after that fight when he scored, would you go and celebrate him or would you fuck him off?
Fuck off.
Could you sense that the Man City players were nervous?
Yeah. So obviously they score a bit of a lucky goal. I think Paddy should have saved it, but he's having one of his training moments, and I think he's flipped it into the frigging top corner. And then it's game on, and you could just sense like the anxiety in the team, and the manager's losing. Mancini's losing on the side. I think Cissé goes through, bang, goal. And he is losing it, and he's proper like, you fucking can't, fuck you, fuck you. You know what I mean? He's proper losing it, the players. And we're like, one in, get in, take this. And then all of a sudden, bang, Traore's gone down the line, whips the beautiful ball in, Big Mackie, bang, diving header, 2-1 up. How the hell we're 2-1 up, don't know. And then the mood changes. You can sense the anxiety in the crowd, in the players. They're giving misplaced passes. They're not getting into good areas. And yeah, it was pure madness, mate.
Were you thinking at that time, we're going to fuck Man City here? We're going to stop them winning the league when it was 2-1?
You know what? I wasn't thinking about them.
No.
Because we needed to stay up.
Yeah.
So we had to better Bolton's result against Stoke.
That's right.
And I think Stoke beat them and we managed to stay up anyway. That's all I was bothered about.
And then what are you thinking when your mate gets a red card?
Typical Joey, man. Well, so
are you watching it happening? Are you seeing this happening?
No, so I'm the first incident was Tevez has given him a slap, hasn't he? Which everyone's missed. And then he's given him a little elbow and he's gone down. But then when everyone's come together and it's kicking off, Big Bobby has gone, hey, you're getting sent off here. So do your best to take a few of them with you so it evens out.
Who's Bobby?
Bobby Zamora. So Bobby's gone into Joey's ear and got, hey, you're getting red carded here. And Joe's gone, no. He goes, yeah, do us a favour. Try and take a few of their players with you. No, get a red card. That's gone. Bang, back of Aguero. Headbutt on company. Then Balotelli tries to come on. And he didn't end up getting anyone sent off.
Oh, that's ledge for Bobby Zamora, isn't it?
Oh, lad, what a shout that is. What a shout. When everything's kicking off, he's gone, hey, try and take someone with you.
Love that shit, man. I see on Mackie when you said he scored the equaliser. What's he like as a guy, Jamie Mackie? Is he a bit thick?
Mate, he's brilliant, lad. He's brilliant. Have you had him on yet, Si?
Nah, I've not had him on.
Get him on, mate. He's gold. Comedy gold, lad. You've seen his TikToks and that, haven't you, recently?
His misses and that, they're good, aren't they?
He's a boss, lad. One of the best.
What sort of stuff? Just like pranks and stuff like that, or just one-liners?
He's just always in that lively mode. That's his life. It's just chaos. He loves it. Loves playing pranks. He's got a special trick every time he goes out on a night out, which you'll have to get him on so he can explain it.
Right, okay.
It's a party trick. It's a great party trick, and he loves pulling it. Loves pulling it on. So you have to ask him when you get him on, mate. But special lad. Lad.
Right, mate. Just when that 2-1 comes, Joey gets sent off. Is that the most pressure you've ever been under as a centre half? It was a bombardment, mate, wasn't it?
It was from kickoff because they had Aguero, Tevez, Silva just popping it, getting into little pockets. Didn't know which way to look. Then all of a sudden they go panic mode. Balotelli comes on. Dzeko comes on. So you're talking about 250 million pounds worth of striker, and they've just gone for it. So you've got Dzeko, Aguero, Tevez, Balotelli. And I'm like, dizzy. My mind's going dizzy here, mate. I'm like, I don't know which way to look. It was just pure carnage. Pure carnage.
Were they saying to use our safe, lads, relax, let us fucking score?
Listen, as the game went on, it went 2-2. And then they scored and the Aguero gets his goal. We didn't know, half the team didn't know that we were safe. Half the team did. So I'm convinced that the front half of the team knew that we were safe. But the lads who were frigging trying to mark all this talent were too busy, preoccupied, and we didn't know. So when Aguero scores that goal, I'm beating the ground because I think we're down.
Right.
I think we're relegated. But then literally stand up, Righty comes over to me and goes, hey, we're sound, we were safe like 2 or 3 minutes ago. And I'm like, Santa fucking telling us that.
How was Balotelli in that? Would they say stuff to you, Clint, or was it complete silence for the players?
Nah, they're on a different stratosphere, them boys. They just look at you like a piece of dust, lad. They're not interested in what you say. So, nah, go away, little boys. Leave the jobs to the big lads.
And then the final whistle goes, mate, and you're safe.
Yes, great feeling. God knows how we did it, and to do it in the way we did as well. You know what I mean? Because we got no help. We got no help really from the main man there, Mark Hughes. So to get that collective spirit and to go on the run we did, we beat Tottenham at home, Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home in those last 5 or 6 games. And the way we stayed up was brilliant. And we had a real good do after it, mate. We had a good few pints, a good Sunday session as well. It was a great time, like.
Did he mention anything about stopping Man City win the league before the game, Mark Hughes? Obviously, he's Man United.
No, he's got an affiliation with them, really, because he was manager. It was a bit weird. He had like Vincent Kompany in our dressing room, like shaking his hands, and I think he went outside to congratulate a few of them as well. And it was a bit off-putting, to be honest with you. And then he's obviously made that comment, and I think he's gone on Sky, and he said, "We will never ever be in this position again. The QPR will never be in this position again. We're going one way, and that's upwards, and we're going. This fella's lost the plot."
So see, after you stayed up, he wasn't even like jumping a bit with the boys or that?
No. It's like he's emotion. Like he's got no emotion. It's weird. He's got no emotion. But to be fair, the lads don't want anything with him as well, to be honest.
What did Joey say when you all got back in the dress? Like, could you hear laughing?
He wasn't there, mate. He wasn't there. So we've gone in. Where's Joe? For fuck's sake, where is he? We survived here. Like, get around him. Try and get an arm around him. He's on the coach. He's on the coach in his own little world, fighting. Freaking God knows what's going through his head.
He's listening to Morrissey. He's just headbutting the wall. So, like, we're trying to ring him, say, Joe, come on, get in here. Have a pint with the lads. And he's gone, nah, I'm not going in that dressing room with that frigging idiot. I'm staying here. So we're like, sound, okay. So then we get on the bus, having a few beers, and a few Man City players get on our bus, right? Because we've got a few French boys. I think Cissé celebrating with them at the end of the whistle. When the whistle goes, he's on someone's back and like, go on. I think it's Nasri. He's got, what's Nasri, wasn't it? Nasri.
Well done. So these lads get on our bus, which is the worst thing they could have done, because you got an angry Joey Barton in our bus, and these lads are getting on with their medals, trying to give it fucking high fives. And Joe's just stood up. He's gone, lads, if you're not off this fucking bus in 30 seconds, I'm going to launch every one of you through the windows. And they just gone, out.
I love that. That must be brilliant to have somebody in the dressing room like that, told me, that just says what he thinks. I mean, because you play with so many players, mate, and there's a handful that'll actually speak up for what they believe in, man. It must be brilliant to have somebody like that in your dressing room.
Yeah, I loved it. I was all for it, you know what I mean? A lot of players melted. A lot of players couldn't cope with the pressure that he brought, the intensity. And he rubbed a lot of players up the wrong way. But ultimately, he wanted the best for the team, you know what I mean? Listen, some of the things he did and the way he went about it, I'm not going to fully support, but he has his way, and he'll always give 100%. He always wants the best for that club that he's at that moment.
You seen me saying, did you two ever have wee ding-dongs in that in training?
No, not really. I wouldn't say train. No, it's probably in a game. In a game, if he let a runner go, which he used to do every now and then, I'd give him a little shout. Or if I didn't pass him the ball, he'd say, "Hey, you're a League One player. Give the ball to the proper players."
I love those shouts as well, man. Tremendous.
That was one of his favourite. Ones.
You're a League One player, amazing.
Hey, give the ball to the Premier League players. He laughed at it. I loved it. I loved that kind of banter. It was funny.
Yeah, mate, people hate that sort of banter, mate. I love that, eh?
I just think that's the old school. It's the old school. It's just, hey, just a bit of banter. Fucking hell, it's funny. It's funny, man.
He's misunderstood. Right, mate, next season, more money was pumped in. Basingwa, Park Ji-sung, Fabio, Remy, Caesar. All arseholes, I take it.
Oh, lad. So we've signed Rob Green, England goalkeeper.
Biggest, reddest nose since this.
Signed Rob Green, great lad. Dry sense of humour, great lad. So we're sitting, having a bit of breakfast. Comes on Sky Sports News, Julio César signs for QPR. We just signed the England goalkeeper on 50 grand a week a couple of weeks ago. He knows nothing about this. So he's looking at it going, what the fuck's going on here? Julio César, Brazilian legend, signed for QPR for 120 grand a week. So you've got two keepers on freaking massive money.
Wow. It's
just ridiculous. And then it's just a conveyor belt of players coming through. And there were some bellends.
Who was the biggest bellend?
Basingo was a bellend. He's won everything. I mean, Champions League, championships, but he came to us and wasn't arsed. He was just turning up. He was Cruyffing in his own frigging areas. He wasn't arsed. He was a disgrace, lad. And I think before he came to us, I think the Chelsea dressing room, because it had that big core group, didn't it?
Yeah, Terry.
Boys, I've said, hey, he needs to go. So I think they got fed up with him.
Right.
So,
see, when he was doing stuff like that,
QPR, we'll fill you in, yeah, come in, we'll have you. Fucking hell, cheers, lads.
See, when he was acting like that to Clint, would you pull him up?
No, the problem is that they didn't have respect for you.
Right.
Didn't have respect for players like me, because obviously I was championship standard all the way through. So for these lads to come in, and what you had is these lads coming in and the good lads were leaving. So that core group of nuggets got bigger and all the sheep started following them.
Yeah.
And there was only a small group of lads who cared about the club and wanted things done correctly, but that was too big for us to fight.
So were you hating going into your work at that stage?
To a point, yeah. To a point, I was, yeah. Because they were doing things off the pitch. They were getting private planes to Paris for a night out. You know what I mean? Like, or things like that. Remember Sean Derry speaking to Julio César, and Julio goes, "How far do you drive in, Sean?" He goes, "Oh, mate, sometimes it takes me 2 hours on the M25." And he goes, 2 hours? Whew. So why don't you just buy a helicopter? To Sean Derry. And Sean Derry's going, so what? Buy a helicopter? That's the kind of level it went to, you know what I mean?
I've played with boys who played with Sean Derry and said he's a top man.
Great lad, man. Another one who can't handle the booze, though, Si. Can't handle it. Yeah, he just got all his muscles go in his body. So he's all skin. So he has a few pints and he just goes, he's just all skin, lad. He's got no skeleton left.
Well, that big head would be able to absorb loads of drink, man.
Oh, no. His head's too heavy and it falls forward. And the body can't contain it.
See, the big players that came in, was there anyone who was a decent guy? Like surely Park Ji-sung's not a bad guy.
Like Park Ji-sung was, he didn't really speak much English, but he was a boss lad. He was a good lad. But even he like kind of lost his powers from Man United. So everything that he was at Man United, he wasn't at QPR. So you're thinking like you can run for fun, Park Ji-sung.
Yeah.
But you couldn't even seem to do that for QPR. It was just mad. It's just the whole group and the whole like collectiveness was wrong. The energy was wrong. And even these good players that came in struggled there. It was bizarre. Was
it like a toxic place to be in?
It was in the end, yeah. It was. Yeah. It was horrible, mate. It was horrible. And Mark Hughes didn't help. He didn't help.
You're going to have these sort of players, mate. You need a guy in charge who's going to bind everyone together, don't you?
Oh, you need a disciplinarian. You need to be that focal point. You need to control these players, because if you don't control them, they'll just go off and do their own thing. And that's the way it went. And we had a horrendous start to the Premier League. We got beat 5-0 at home to Swansea after Mark Hughes said we'll never be in this position again. All the talk when we were doing player bonuses was no. Top six, you can have your money. Bottom half, you can't. And we're like, lad, do you know we only survived because Stoke beat Bolton last year? and you're talking about European football. I said, you've lost your frigging head.
How do people lose their head like that? Is it just non-football people, huh?
I thought, yeah. It was Mike Rigg. Mike Rigg, this fella, who was, freaking hell, he was terrible. Lad. So he was negotiating with us about player bonuses, and he was heavily incentivising us on European football. We're like, Mike, you are miles off it, mate. Miles off it. So we ended up sticking to the one we had like the year before.
Right, mate. Hughes goes, and Harry comes in. You must have been buzzing again. Another big manager, big name that you're going to be playing under, Harry Redknapp. Was your initial thoughts great appointment?
Yeah, because we thought everything Mark Hughes wasn't, Harry Redknapp would be. You know what I mean? Yeah, personality-wise, good lad. Man management style. Listen, tactically, you're not going to learn anything brilliant off him, but he's very much that old school mentality, like a Neil Warnock. He's a manager. He's not a coach. You know what I mean? So he came in, but he inherited a shit show. You know what I mean? I felt sorry for him, mate. He inherited a proper shit show. Too much money, too many players. We had a big collection of players that weren't even involved, like just hanging around because we couldn't pay them off, couldn't get rid of them. So they were toxic. You know what I mean? I felt for him. I felt for him because he's come from Tottenham, playing like managing Luka Modric, Gareth Bale, big Crouchy, proper players, and then come into a shit show that was QPR at the time.
Would he have a go at these arseholes like Masingo in that?
Nah, not really. Not really, mate.
Mate, I wish somebody had shaved Masingo's eyebrows, man.
Happy.
What was that all about, man?
He was a strange fella, him. Strange fella. Couldn't get 2 words out of him. Very strange lad. Very strange boy. But yeah, I felt for Harry. I felt for him. We couldn't control it, and obviously we went down. And then we had the championship year.
Charlie Austin was saying that Harry loved the horses, where him and Charlie used to sit with the racing post and speak with
I know. I never really had that relationship with Harry. So right. I think he probably more... He had a better relationship with Charlie or Joe. You know what I mean? Like the big boys in the team. I didn't really have that kind of contact with him, which I didn't mind. You know what I mean? I was fine with it. But yeah, there's a few stories about him where you go and knock on the office and he's got his feet up. Got his feet up there. He's got the racing on. He's got the racing post. And his eyes pop over and goes, "You all right, son?" You know what I mean? That was just him. He's just concentrating on the frigging racing rather than the fussy.
Charlie says that he spoke to him more about racing than he did about football.
Probably right. It's probably all right, lad.
Amazing, mate. So as you say, mate, you got relegated and then you're straight back up be the playoffs.
Yeah.
As tough a final as you're going to get against Derby, is it Zamora that next the winner?
Zamora scores the goal, mate. Zamora scores the all-important goal.
Was that a long 90 minutes, that one?
It was, but the beginning of that season, we flew out the blocks. Top of the league. Steve McLaren was our coach then, under Harry, and everything was brilliant. Harry was just manager. Steve took everything training-wise.
Is he brilliant, Steve McLaren, coach?
Great coach, good coach. Real good coach, Steve. I enjoyed working with him.
Terrible bandit, but great coach.
Yeah, terrible accent as well. But he was a real good coach, and everything was good because Harry could just step away, observe, have a little chat here and there. Steve McLaren left, I think, to go to Derby, I think. And then it started to crumble. You know what I mean? Kev Bond and Joe Jordan didn't really like each other. Really? They weren't the greatest of coaches. You know what I mean? Very old school. And it just started to crumble a little bit. And then we got Steve Blacking, the psychologist who worked with Joe. And he was brilliant, man. He just got us together. Got us together for those last 5 games. Managed to get to Wembley. And yeah, I don't know how we did it, but we did it, mate. We found a way. That was our little kind of template. Find a way, and we did.
And you've got your man Steve Fleetwood now, don't you?
Yeah, we've got Steve now. Great guy, Steve. He's working with us now, so he comes in every now and then just to give the lads a little talk and a little chat. And he's brilliant, man. Fantastic. Loads of energy.
Again, mate, you spend big money again going up to the Premier League. Colker, Much, Fair, Sandro. Tell me they guys weren't as bad as the ones before.
Sandro was a weird guy. Like he'd do all this MMA. He'd do MMA in the change room, like big tough guy. What was he called? What was he called? The Beast. was called the Beast, wasn't he, at Tottenham, I think.
Tottenham,
So we're thinking, yeah, midfield general, have it. Yeah. No, nothing like that. He had nothing. He kept breaking down. Injuries, little hamstrings, and another one who probably played at the top elite came to us and struggled to play with, shall we say, lesser players, or, you know what I mean, a different environment, a different atmosphere, a different pressure. And he lost it. Stefan and Bia. Friggin' hell. We're playing in this game at home. He's gone in for a challenge, flipped on his back, and it's like he broke his back. He's screaming, my back. He's had to get carried off. He's got an ambulance. He's got a freaking ambulance to the hospital. We're still playing the game. He's tweeting in the ambulance, going, with a neck brace on, going, QPR fans, don't worry, I will be back next game. We're freaking playing here. We're still scrapping, and he's taking photos and tweets in an ambulance.
Oh, what goes through these guys' heads, man?
Oh, lad, I don't know how we did it.
One hero through that name, so that I've heard, is Stephen Colker.
Mate, what happens to Stephen Colker? Wow.
Christmas do.
What's that?
What was the Christmas do?
Okay, now, well, we've started early. And he started on the tequilas like at about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And he sucked in a young Asian lad, Son, his name was. He was a left back, and he sucked him in to doing these tequilas. So by 12 o'clock, Yun's gone. He's dead. He's well out of it. And then we're walking from bar to bar in London. It's a brilliant spot. Wandsworth, the old Swan in there, a class pub. Walking over the bridge, and Big Stephen's a big lad, and him and Joe are friction each other, rubbing each other up the wrong way. And Joseph's had enough of him, and like Stephen's just gone, go on then, we'll have it. So we're walking, and Joseph's gone, bang, fuck off, shoulder barge through the bushes down near the river. Poor Stephen's like down at the bottom like this, hey! Full of tequila, he can't get up. But Stephen had everything, Cox. He had everything as a player.
Yeah.
But I just think mentally at the time he was all over the place. Is he in Turkey now?
Two of my best mates played at Dundee one, mate. And they said the exact same thing as you. Like, mate, he is ridiculous, but he's just a total loose cannon.
Yeah, his life is I don't know what's going on in his head, but yeah, you can't function as a football player, mate, with all that going on. But I think he's turned the corner. I think he has.
Fingers crossed, mate. Right, mate, just the last wee bit on QPR. Obviously, Ramsey, Warnock, and then Hasselbank comes in. Just a wee bit. What was Hasselbank like as a manager?
Jimmy.
Sale, mate, didn't he now?
Yeah, big Jimmy. Hell of a left foot. Show it off in training every day. Still had it. Still had a frigging hell of a shot on him, like a rocket in shooting practice. The problem Jimmy had, for me, is that he worked too hard. He worked the lads too hard. Monday to Friday. He worked them too hard.
Well,
so
no days off.
Very rarely days off, but you'd have 2.5, 3 hour sessions. So you'd be on your feet for 3 hours in a midweek. On a Friday, you'd be on your feet for 2.5 hours. And it was just too much. It was too much. And I get he probably wanted to impress. It was his first big job in the Championship, and he probably wanted to do things correctly, but he went about it too much the other way. And the lads just lost their legs when the games come along, mate.
Did he tell you stories, or was he the same, similar to Hughes?
Oh, really? He had a little bit more about him. He had a bit more of a smile and a better personality about him. But no, we won't tell you stories or anything like that. Not to me, anyway. But
who's your best man? He's worked quiet.
He'd work you hard, mate. He'd work you too hard the other way. And you come to a game and you'd be like, I've got nothing left here, Jim.
I don't think foreign managers realise how tough the games are in the Championship. Eh?
Saturday, Tuesday, for 3 or 4 weeks on the bounce. You don't need to train. You just need to tick along. That's all you need.
Who was your favourite manager, Clint? Warnock?
Yeah, I think overall it'd be Warnock. I loved Ian Dowie. Ian Dowie was good for the year I had him at Oldham. But Neil Warnock overall was good for me. Real good. Just for me personally, you know what I mean? He looked after me, looked after my family. He'd be my number one.
And then 35 you were when you finished at QPR? 36, 35?
36, I think, mate, yeah.
You think he was chucking it?
Nah. Nah, I felt good.
Still love playing,
I love playing. I loved it, and I still felt good because I didn't play that much towards the end of my time at QPR. So my body was okay, you know what I mean? And then, I've gone on holiday to Dubai. Been released by QPR, fucking gutted. I've had 6 years there. It's been brilliant. I was gutted. Get to Dubai, I'm on holiday, and I'm just scratching around, really, waiting for a phone call. And then, obviously, I get the phone call from Glasgow Rangers, which was unbelievable, mate. I didn't believe it.
The first team that got in contact with you that summer was Rangers,
It was a friend of mine, Bradley Orr, who used to play with me at QPR.
Yeah,
right back, good lad. So he's rung me, and he's become an agent, and he's had a few deals. I think he took Jordan Rossiter into Rangers. So they were looking for a number 4 centre-half, sort of backup, really, you know what I mean? So he said, listen, there's a chance here that Glasgow Rangers will take you. And I'm on the other end of the phone on the balcony in Dubai going, Brad, come on, lad, we've known each other for a few years now. Stop taking the piss. Go, no, lad, I swear to God, I'm on it. I'll let you know in a few days. Puts the phone down. So obviously I'm like, I'm buzzing. I'm thinking, Glasgow Rangers want me to go up there and be a part of that team. So for the next few days, I'm trying not to get myself too excited because I just think they're going to bin me off. I'm probably 5th or 6th choice on the list. Get a phone call next couple of days. And gone, lad, it's on. And I've gone, what? He goes, it's on. He said, when are you home? So I've got another week here in Dubai. He said, well, when you get back home, fly up to Scotland, we'll get it done. So I've gone, lad, I want to fly home now. I've got a week's holiday left with my kids and my family, and I'm thinking, I just want to fuck off. I just want to get back home because...
Oh, you see, after a week, you've ran out of things to speak to them about anyway, haven't you?
I know, but I'm thinking, hey, they might change their mind. I want to get up there now and sign this before they change their mind.
Did you see how do it, or did you get a flight?
No, I stayed. I couldn't do that to them, mate. Freaking hell. We've been divorced.
Did you speak to Joey Barton in that week leading up when you were in Dubai? Because he'd already signed, hadn't he?
Yeah, so I've texted him a couple of times, and he's saying, lad, let's get up there and let's have a good go, sort the dressing room out, and let's try and make a good push of it next season. He was buzzing. To go and play for that football club. I can't tell his story because obviously he wants to tell it himself, but I think he got told a few lies and a few things that didn't materialise when he got there, and that's when the shit happened. But I've landed in London, got a flight up to Scotland, landed in Glasgow. I'm at the carousel waiting for my bag. One of the girls from Rangers Media phones me. He goes, hi Clint, how are you? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, I'm just outside, I'm waiting for it. There's a few cameras here. So I've gone, okay, Sam, thinking it's just Rangers Media. Yeah. Just do a quick interview. Lad, I have walked in through gates open. I've walked through with my bag and I've never seen a scene like it. It was like George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio were behind me, lad. All the paparazzi, video camera, Sky Sports, put a microphone in my face. And I'm going, what the fuck's happening here? I mean, I'm Clint Hill.
Man.
Yeah. Like, to me, I'm just like, hey, I'm Clint Hill here. I'm not like a freaking Lorenzo Amoruso or someone like that, a top player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just weird, mate. Weird.
Had you ever been up to Scotland, Clint, to watch a game? Did you know much about Rangers?
Oh, I knew about them. I watched them all the time. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, I used to watch all the big games that were on TV. I knew they were a big club, mate. That's why I got excited. Because I was 37 years old, thinking, might get a League One here, League One or a League Two if I'm lucky. And then to finally get a chance to play for a super club. So I've never really done that in terms of my career. I mean, 53,000 every week. That's a different level, that. Did it shock you just how big they are, Clint, when you came up? Was it bigger than you thought? Yeah,
well, definitely. Just because of all the scrutiny and the media and the intensity?
Man, you've got a full newspaper on football, haven't you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just back to front, bang, bang. It's Rangers, Celtic, Rangers, Celtic, Rangers, Celtic. And it's a bubble. It's a full-on bubble. And it took me a while to adjust to it. It took me... I didn't feel comfortable in it, you know what I mean? I didn't feel comfortable playing for such a big club. It took me a while to adapt to it. It really did. I struggled when I first started.
Would you get people coming up to you in the street and stuff like that? Is that like the first time that's happened to you?
Oh, it's mental. I'd be walking down the street with my family and it's 50-50 who you meet, Si, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
You either get, hey, all right, big man, or hey, you fucking bastard.
But see, that sort of stuff, Clint, does that not happen at clubs like Crystal Palace and QPR because London's so big?
Yeah, London's so big, so you can vanish, can't you? I mean, you can go and do whatever you want in London. So it's even in Liverpool, Everton, it's not that bad.
No.
You know what I mean? Lads can roam around and have a freedom where in Glasgow, the spotlight's 24/7.
It's crazy, mate. It's absolutely crazy. Mark Warburton, were you impressed with him when you spoke to him? He talks well. I've had him on here. I think he's a very good talker.
Yeah, he is. He is, and he's got his own way of playing. And listen, he's had a lot of success from it.
Brentford flying, didn't he?
Brentford, and even at Rangers, listen, he was in the Championship. The club was massive and it should have got promoted, but it did. He had to get it promoted and he done it in a good style, I think. So you get to the Prem, it's a different level. And I've always said, once you put that blue shirt on, you're a target, even if you put the other one on. So if you put the blue one on, you're a target, and you're coming up against players that you might think are not a great level, but they raise the game 30% because they're playing against a Rangers team. So you've got to combat that first before anything else. And that's where we were looking for that little bit of a plan B off Mark, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the football wasn't quite working, the pitches weren't great enough to do it. What else can we do? And I think that kind of let him down a little bit.
Was his goal and the team's goal to win the league that year? Did he have goals, or was it just we'll play how we play and we see where we end up?
No, I think, listen, the achievement to do was always to try and close that gap as much as you can, which was hard. It was hard, mate, because Celtic were miles away. They had 4 or 5 years to do what they want. A lot of investment.
Brendan Rodgers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So they were on a different level to where we were at that present time. So I think to kind of get maybe, and it's the wrong way to talk, to get second maybe was a hell of an achievement. To get European football as well was a massive aim, so that the club could generate money. But yeah, we couldn't compete with Celtic, no chance.
How was
the team wasn't good enough, mate.
Sorry, mate.
The team wasn't good enough. It wasn't built to do that.
Could you see that straight away, Clint, that the team wasn't good enough in training?
Yeah. It's just the intensity. The intensity for me was quite low. You had a lot of young lads in there, a lot of good footballers. You know what I mean? And some real good kids. But I think when you play for one of those top teams in Glasgow, you need something else. You need a little bit more. You need a character. You need a bit of nastiness, because there's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah. See that lack of intensity in training? Where does that come from? Does that come from a manager, or does that come from players?
I think it could come from both, to be honest. I think if training isn't right and we try and do it at Fleetwood, then we drive the intensity. The coaches have got to drive it. Obviously, you'd love the players to do it, but I think the group we had were a little bit too matey. They were young, you know what I mean, and they didn't want to drive each other. So obviously, then you dropped Joe into the mix, who was very driven and wanted to do things correctly, and then he gets frustrated, you know what I mean, and then whatever happens, and he leaves. So yeah, I think there was a mixture there, mate, of the intensity and the character to play for such a big club at a high level with all the pressure.
Who did impress you when you first went? Who did you like?
I liked Waldo. I thought Waldo was a good lad. Kenny Miller obviously was a top pro, man. Top pro Kenny. Could still do it, fit as, worked in training like he played on a Saturday. Knew what it meant to be a Rangers player, you know what I mean? So he's one of those shining lights that you always look forward to. When I was 37, I was still looking at him going, hey, all day. Yeah. Great pro.
Could Josh Windass give a paracetamol a sore head?
He's a daft player, isn't he? He's daft, isn't he? Oh. He's daft. He sends me pictures now of his 5K runs and everything. I'm like, sod off, Josh. Sent me one the other day of a rollerblading. I'm like, hey, you've lost the plot, you lad. Don't
take he a good player, though? Was he good?
Josh, yeah.
Is he a player, huh?
Josh is a good player. Another one who probably going to Rangers as early as he did wasn't good for him, if you know what I mean. Because he come from Accrington Stanley, a few thousand, go to a hotbed like Rangers as a young kid. You need to hit the ground running or people are on you. I felt that myself. So I think he found that whole environment a little bit tough. And I think he still loves it there. He still talks really highly about the place. And I think if he ever got the chance to go back, I think he would.
Yeah, so do I. I think he
would. In a better frame of mind, wasn't he?
How was that first game walking out with the 53,000? Even your age, were you still getting the old goosebumps?
Yeah. Well, we used to go drive your car along the side of the stadium, didn't you? At the pitch, leave it there, and they'd take it to the car park for you. So I drove in for the first time because when I signed, I didn't go to the ground. I just went to the training ground.
Yeah.
The first time was, I think we played. Did we play Peterhead or something like that in a League Cup? I think one of the first games.
I fucking played.
Nah, you didn't. Where were you? On the bench.
Mate, I was outstanding that day. The 10 others were shite. You scored 2, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Somehow, mate. Somehow, yeah. So,
what was it, a header?
Oh, of course. Of course. I had nothing else about me, lad, did I?
There you go, mate. See, if you're struggling and you want to turn your season round, just play against me and I'll turn your season round.
I've done the same to a few strikers as well, lad. I've got some strikers good moves, mate.
What about the first... sorry, go on, you go, mate.
Oh, no, it was great time, great place, great stadium. I think the first game, proper league game, they do the unveiling of a championship, don't they? I think that's tradition. So they had all that for the championship, and yeah, it was special, man, special. It took me a while to get used to it.
See that game? I don't know if you remember. Do you remember there was a wee ginger guy in the middle of the pitch for us? He was asked to man Mark Barton, and he smashed Joey Barton within 20 minutes and got red carded.
Yes, yeah.
And
I did.
And Joey Barton's done that to him after his red card. Oi, ginger pubes, fuck off.
Did Joey end up taking him on a little merry-go-round, run all over the pitch, then he said, I've got this.
You had him over at left back, you had him over right back, he was just taking him anywhere.
Yeah, come on, son, you're coming with me. You should take him all around the pitch, didn't he?
Tremendous, man. Right, mate, I need to talk. I know you'll not like it, but you're on the bench for the 5-1 defeat.
Yeah.
Celtic. Yeah. How hard was that watching for the side?
Yeah, painful. Obviously, it's your first Old Firm experience. Like I said, I went to Rangers. Mark kind of said to me, listen, you're back up. You'll be a backup defender. I think they tried to get Joleon Lescott in during that time, but I think he failed a medical. He ended up with Senderos at the time. So I think I was kind of third or fourth choice at the time. So I was on the bench, and it was a massacre. It was a massacre, mate. They had too much for us. We weren't good enough. And 5-1, was it?
5-1, yeah.
Horrendous score, lad. Horrendous.
Somebody got sent off, didn't they?
Was it Phil?
Senderos got sent off, that's right.
Yeah, Senderos. And I think he ended up, I don't know what he did. I think he ended up playing Joe at the back or something.
That's right.
Yeah, I think he did. So, yeah, I was just sat on the bench just thinking, what the hell's happening there? All the Celtic fans are behind you, banging on the frigging dugout, giving you shit. You know what I mean? There's just nowhere for you to hide, is there? Nowhere.
And what's the dressing room like after that, Clint? 5-1 defeat.
Horrible, yeah.
And who'd be having a go? Would Mark Warburton be one that would have a go at the boys?
He never really raised his voice, Mark. Never really raised his voice. It was all kind of thoughtful, you know what I mean? He was a developer, Mark. So he liked the young kids around him, you know what I mean? So he can develop them, criticise them in the right way. Never liked to point fingers and make people feel small, you know what I mean? He always tried to do it in the right way. But Kenny Miller, Waldo, people like that, Joey, obviously, yeah, it wasn't a nice dressing room to be in, mate. And it kicked on then for a few weeks after that. Would
you have your sit?
I was on the bench. So it's hard to give a point of view when you've not been involved, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've been on the other end of it when someone spoke up and like, hey, shut up, you weren't even playing. You know what I mean? But I'd have a few chats privately with people like on the Monday or something, you know what I mean? Just to try and see how they are in that. But
see what you said there about Mark Warburton. See if you are going to manage, like you say, one of the big clubs, you think you need to have that switch in you that you can pull up the bigger players. Yeah, I do, definitely. I think you need that little shock. Players need a little shock. I think if everything's one... Got my cat coming in now. Look, what's this here? Let's see it. Look at this here. Oh, she's a belter. So, yeah, I think you need that little shock. Because if everything's one tone and one level, I think you get a bit comfortable. There needs to be that little bit of fear there, doesn't there? I do as well. I do, because if you see a manager losing it every now and then, you think, fuck, he's pissed off, so I must have been bad. Yeah. Where if everything's like this, you never really learn if you're good or bad, do you? No. See, with the Joey Barton incident, obviously you don't want to talk about it because it's Joey's story, but was that the beginning of the end for Warburton?
I think it was. Just the lads were leading up to. I think the lads were kind of always talking about they beat them in the League Cup, didn't they, or something in the cup final, in the semi there, and they were always talking back to that about going, "Hey, we beat them last year," so you know what I mean. It was like a badge of honour, which it should have been, but it should have been put to bed because it's a new season and we need to kick on and be even more ruthless. But they always kept reverting back to this win. And Joey, that used to rub him up the wrong way. You know what I mean? He said that was last season. He said they were a bag of shite last season. They got Brendan Rodgers in this season. They're a different level. We need to match it. And then I think it just kicked off from there. One thing is we never did defensive work. We never worked on defensive work with Mark. That was a big point of concern for us. You know what I mean? So we do loads of attacking free kicks, corners, and we never do a defensive corner. And that riled Joe up one day, and he goes, "Why are we practicing our defensive corners? So we don't do that here." He said, "Well, maybe we fucking should." He goes, No, we don't do it here. And there was about a conversation for 45 minutes about that, why we should do it and why we shouldn't do it. It was just madness, like.
Defensive corners, mate, are done in League Two, the bottom team in League Two.
We didn't, mate, and we just didn't do it. I used to speak to Davey Weir and say, like, why are we working on it? Why are we doing this stuff? Because Davey was a top defender, so I wanted to work with him. He said, we just don't do that. So we're all about the football. We're all about passing, keeping hold of the ball, working teams. And I'm like, fucking hell, you need something else. So see, if you were to look back to say what was missing for that team, would it be stuff like that, the defensive set pieces, the intensity in training? I just think you need a plan B. Listen, we play some good football at times, but you go to places like Inverness, Hamilton, you know what I mean? Like on the plastic pitch. You need to be solid. You need to be compact. You need to scrap out a 1-0 win. It's not all about getting 800 passes and making things look good. And I just don't think we had that. That year. We didn't work on it. We didn't use it enough. So I always thought if you're strong and you're compact and you had good players, you had a good chance of winning the game. It's not all about keeping the ball.
No, definitely.
But unfortunately, Mark was all about his way, which is fair enough. You know what I mean? It's fair enough. A lot of managers, a lot of coaches don't have an idea. He has got a clear idea of what he wants to do, so fair play to him.
It's that old word, he's got a philosophy, mate. Load of rubbish. Anyway, Crankjar, I need to ask you, mate, how good is Crankjar? Like, see if he'd stayed fit for Rangers, and it made a massive difference, wouldn't it?
He would have. I mean, I had him at QPR, and some of the things he did was special. So, obviously, him going up there, it was his kind of stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was stage, big crowd, big stadium. He could be the main man. Yeah, he could be the main man, but he could just never get going. Could never stay fit. There was glimpses of magic from him, but I just think he wasn't fit enough to do it on a weekly basis, man. He struggled, unfortunately.
What kind of guy is he?
Top lad.
Is he?
Top lad. Yeah, brilliant lad. Loves the red wine. Loves going out for a meal with the lads, socialising. He might even have the odd ciggy here and there, you know what I mean? He's a top boy, like, top boy.
Who would be the big group that you would hang about with then at Rangers?
No, I was thinking about it before. It was different. It was a young group, so the Rob Kiernans, the Weses, the Forresters, people like that kind of congregated together, you know what I mean, and done their own thing.
Yeah.
And the very few times I did go out, I'd go out with Joe Garner, who's fucking brilliant. What a lad. He's a great lad, mate. Great lad. But we never went out a lot because I was always wary of, you know, it'd only take one daft thing and it'd all go off, you know, in Glasgow. So I was very wary. I picked me times about going out. But me and Joe went out a couple of times, and that boy can drink, lad. That boy can drink.
Where can you remember where you went there?
We went to Bar 29, lad.
Oh, 29, Bar 29?
Oh, yeah. Got looked after in there.
Oh,
Special. I had to tell the girl behind the bar to stop serving Joe Garner. I had said, listen, do not ever serve him again, because we were having a convo. Turned round and there was 30 Jaeger bombs lined up. There's only three of us going out.
He's my type of guy.
I'm like, Joe, what are you doing, lads? I would be sound a bit cracking like this. Come on. He tried to order it again. He tried to order another round, and I said, hey, no, come to me. Don't go to him.
Oh, you could drink him under the table for big man, can you?
I love a bevy, like I say. I love a bevy, but Can't do 30 Jaeger bombs, lad. That freaking hell. I want to enjoy it.
That's suicide, mate, innit? That is suicide, man.
Right, lad.
Right, mate. Graham Murray took over. How did you think he handled it?
I thought he'd done okay, mate. I thought he'd done well. He worked on things in training that we haven't worked on before. Defensive work, structure. Brought a bit of a smile back to the place as well. He was put in a difficult situation, wasn't he? But I thought he handled it well.
He's another one that kind of just seems like it looks like a good coach now, but maybe not got that switch in him.
Yeah. I think he's a brilliant academy coach, and I think he's doing wonders at Rangers now.
Yeah.
From some of the stories I've heard, but it's different going to first team management. It's different, but I thought he handled it really well. He looked after the lads. He got the lads on board, and it was a difficult job for him because the scrutiny is massive, and the amount of bloody interviews you have to do as a manager there. You just want one slip of word, and they're on you. It's a headline, isn't it? Yeah.
Was it frustrating for you, Clint? Because obviously, if you could have maybe done that wee bit better, if you're doing well in Glasgow, it's the best life in the world. But if you're on the other side, it must be so hard.
It's hard, mate. I mean, I struggled there for the first few months. I always say I did. I couldn't cope with it. I was struggling to play with the footy, the size of the stadium and the people, the pressure. But then I just made an effort one day, just go, you know what? You're not going to please everyone here. Not going to please them. This club's massive. It's had legends throughout the game. You're never going to be at that level to compare to them. So they're always going to get people who are going to think that you shouldn't be there. So I just enjoy it. Give everything you've got. Get out on that pitch and just do what you do. And if it works, it works. And I started to enjoy that last kind of 6 months.
Is it mad that you're like a hero Rangers fans, man?
I can't cope. I don't know where I was only there a year, and we were a bang average team, but they're a special group of fans, lad. I mean, when I was at Carlisle last year, they used to come down in hundreds and watch.
Rangers fans at Carlisle watch you?
Like, used to be 40 or 50 every week come down if there wasn't a game for Rangers, and they'd watch Carlisle play in League Two. You know what I mean? And they would have a beer and a chat after the game. They're just brilliant, lad. They're brilliant. But I think all they ever want is someone who's going to wear that shirt with pride, give everything they've got, and represent the fans on the pitch. You know what I mean? And towards the end of my career there, that's all I wanted to do.
Best feeling, mate, must have been scoring against Celtic away. What do you remember of the goal?
It rescued me, that, didn't it? Yeah, I can just remember, obviously we were 1-0 down at the time, weren't we? Cross came in, went out to Tav, he'd done a little jink. Emerson got the ball, hit a great shot. And I just done with John Aldridge, mate, just copied John Aldridge from back in the day, you know what I mean? Just follow things in. And I just creeped round the back and I just thought, just get a fucking sweet strike on this. No matter what part of the body it is, just make sure it hits you sweet. And it's hit my shin and it just flew into the back of the net, lad. And the noise was something else, man. That was probably one of the last games where it was 7,000-8,000 away fans, I think.
It was. That's right.
It's not the same now, which is a shame. But the uproar and the fans and the poor girl behind the goal, mate, she was giving me some shit there, the Celtic fan.
What's she?
Oh, she was giving me some shit there, lad. Have you seen her face? Oh, what? Some of the things coming out of her mouth, she shouldn't even know at that age.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? What, is that the best atmosphere you've played in?
Yeah. No matter what. I mean, listen, we had a shit time in Old Firm when I was there, but the games and the atmosphere, the build-up, Jesus Christ, the build-up's something else. Like a week before, you'd be in Tesco shopping and someone would be going, hey, we need to do them bastards on Saturday. And that'd be it through the week. Or you go for a coffee, hey, we need to do them bastards Saturday. So just the whole build-up of it is special. And then you step off.
Sorry, you go, mate, sorry.
So when you step off the bus at Celtic Park, and all the fans are there giving you a nice greeting, throwing coins at you, spitting at you, telling you what you are. You know what I mean? It's you know you're in for a proper game. Like,
see, even at 37, like, would you still get nervous playing in their games?
Yeah, because you knew how much it meant to the people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You wanted to do your best, and you wanted them fans to go home with a smile on their face because it's been a shit few years for them. So you just wanted to give them a little glimmer. Unfortunately, we only had frigging a draw out of them, I think, at the games I played in.
Yeah.
I think that goal and that draw at their place was a little glimmer. Obviously, it's not a win,
but it was a little glimmer of hope, you know what I mean?
You were getting better, mate, weren't you? And then the news comes that Pedro Caixinha's got the Rangers job. Now, me fair outside, I was thinking, why has this guy got the Rangers job? You as a player thinking the exact same?
Didn't know who he was, didn't know his background. The whole build-up to it, we think we need a Rangers man in here. You know what I mean? We need someone who knows the league, who knows what the atmosphere is, who knows what the expectations are. So for me to get some unknown fella in who's never experienced that before was a big risk, and it turned out that way, to be honest with you.
Could you tell straight away he was a bit off it? Like he was a bit mad, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Some of the press conferences were mad, wasn't he? Like some of the quotes he did, he was bloody
caravan and the dog, wasn't it?
It was a goldmine for the local media, like, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Some of the things he said. Training was weird. All kind of this periodization stuff. We'd go out in the morning, do half an hour on something, then we'd come back in for a couple of hours, then we'd go back out, and you're like, you can get all this in one session, you know.
What?
It was just very weird. There was like loads of plyometrics, passing the ball, running through cones, plyometrics into a 1v1 or 2v2, and it was just, I don't know, it was too complicated. And he wasn't good with the language, so with that as well, it was just fucking carnage. Like, it was.
The boys have a field day with that, mate. And see when.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's it. The language barrier was a big thing for him, Mason. Yeah, it wasn't the right fit. Mate.
Was his meetings? No, I think he had quite a few weird meetings, didn't he?
And he's put this presentation on one game, and I'm to this day I still think it's the presentation he did for the job. Right, that he's given the board. I swear to God, I think it is. Right. It's all fireworks. It's all gleaming. The shots of the stadium, players, trophies, the Rangers' history. And I'm going, he's definitely give this to the board. And then he's got into his style of play. So he was in, where was he? Qatar or something like that?
Yeah, Qatar.
Yeah. So he's got these lads playing footy, bang, passing the ball, saying, lads, this is how I want us to play football for Glasgow Rangers. And we're like, lad, it's 90 odd degrees out there. It's walking football. No one's putting any pressure on you. You know what I mean?
And Scotland, somebody's going to be smashing you, mate.
Lad, we could still play at that level now. And we're sat there going, he doesn't know what it means to put that blue top on, to go to an away ground. You're not going to get it that easy. And it was just too blinkered, mate. Too blinkered. He lost the line.
I heard that about the presentation. There was always fireworks and like money signs and coming.
Fireworks, bing, bang, bang. The lads were like, freaking hell, what's going on? It was better than the actual talk.
Did you have the chance to stay under him, Clint, or was it definite that you were going to go?
Nah, to be fair, spoke to Warbs and Davey before they left, and they were talking about maybe getting another 6 months a year. But obviously they left then. And then Pedro's called me in before the Hearts game, which was my last game. He's gone, I don't think we want you here next season. I said, well, all right, okay. Can you explain why? He's gone, we don't think you can get the ball and pass out from the back and play the football that we want to go. I went, you fucking taking the piss? He goes, no, I just don't think you can play the football that we require. And I'm like, lad, you're fucking miles off it. And then he's gone, but I need you. I need you to play for me for these next 3 games. Is that okay? I've gone, yeah, I'm a fucking good pro, so don't you worry about that, but don't disrespect me like that. So I've ended up playing in that Hearts game. I think we won 2-0. I got man of the match. I thought, a big fuck you to him, you know what I mean? But I pulled my calf and I couldn't play in the last couple of games. So that was my last game for them now. But yeah, I don't know if that was a language barrier thing, side the way you tried to explain it. But that was just
for me.
Yeah, that's just one of the problems he had, and I don't know. It just wasn't for me.
As I say, how big you are at Rangers, mate. Like, do you wish that you'd maybe gone there earlier on in your career?
Imagine being 26, 27 in the glory years, lad, where they're top boys, they're winning leagues, they're winning trophies. You just float around Glasgow, wouldn't you? Yeah, pretty much the way that probably the Celtic boys are now, aren't they? They're idolised and they're probably floating on fresh air around Glasgow, where you can only imagine what it was like when Rangers were at the top. they must have been idolised, mate. Special times, because
Yes,
it's a
sir.
fucking great club, lad. I loved it. Great club. I wish I was younger. I wish I stayed longer. But just to get the chance, mate, to wear that jersey was something special.
Just last question, mate. How do you look back on your career?
You know, I done well.
All right, ain't you?
Lad, I done well. For what I had in terms of ability, talent, I got every last bit out of myself, mate. And that's what makes me proud. You know what I mean? I never give up, always kept going, and I got the most out of myself. So, yeah, wish I could do it again, mate.
And last time, Jibril Cissé, up you.
Hey, my nose jib. You owe me a new nose job, lad.
Clint, what a man. I loved it. Thanks very much, mate.
Lads, pleasure. Take care.